Welcome back, everybody. This is Marilyn with MKR Creations, and as I talked about the other day, I showed you this paper collection called Salon from Echo Park Papers, and today I'm going to do the notepad cover. And this notepad is 4x6, and I use chipboard to make my covers. And you want to cut your chipboard slightly bigger than your notepad, so it will kind of make a difference as your notepad. This is 4.5 by 6.5, and the spine is 5/8 by 6.5. And I have 2 of the covers and 1 spine to go with that. I have a ruler. You'll also need a pencil, scissors. I'm using a weeder because I'm going to be using score tape. I also have some foam tape because I will probably pop up the front. I have art glitter glue, and then I have my papers that I'm going to use. I also have a piece of 110-pound cardstock. I am using this. I am going to make this notepad cover a little different than my previous ones. I'm going to make this one so that you can place the notepad inside to continue to use the notepad cover if you'd like. I've had some people comment on that at shows that they would like to reuse the cover and would like the notepad to be replaceable. So we're going to do that this time. Also, I usually glue this down to the paper pad and then go around and glue it in the back. So this time I'm going to have to take this front off my paper pad because I don't want that showing. And this is not going to be glued to the paper pad. It's going to have to be glued to, connected to this and glued to the back of the inside cover. Just this part glued down so that we can easily remove the pad. All right, so let's get started here. I'll move this stuff out of the way. This is the paper that I am using for my front cover, and I love this back paper too, so we'll probably be using that a bit also. I've already drawn my lines. I like to draw about 1 inch at the bottom, 1 inch on the sides to make sure that I keep my lines straight, because we all know I'm not real good at straight lines. Even when I have them marked, I can end up with good lines. So yeah. So let me get my art glitter glue ready to go here, and I'm going to use that on this part. Maybe. This has been giving me a lot of trouble lately with not wanting to come out, and I keep using the pen to make sure it's open, but I don't want to use anything more than this thin opening because I don't want my paper to buckle. I do have more of these inserts. This one, or these little thin sheets here, or thin sheets, thin, yeah. I'm going to put a new one on there because this one probably needs to be soaked. So we'll just put a new one on, and we'll be good to go. And I'll put this one over to be soaked to clean that out. You just have to soak them in warm water to make sure everything is out of them. Okay, that should work better now. Alrighty, we'll get this first one down. Make sure it's straight with both edges there. Press that down good. Then we're going to take our spine piece and we're going to put glue on it. And we're going to put it down so it's nice and straight here. We're going to leave a small gap, about 1/8 of an inch, so that we can fold our book without binding it. And then our last piece. Again, leave about 1/8 of an inch. And since the other side is a one-way design, you want to make sure, and I forgot to say that before I did this, you want to make sure that you are going the right direction. And I made sure of that before I even put anything down. This is about 1 inch here. I need to mark about 1 inch up here so I can cut this off so that we are ready to go with the next step here. Our glitter glue dries very quickly, so you can keep moving forward with your project. The only time I have trouble is when I take this tiny tip off and use the larger tip to put down more glue. Like when I'm putting down lace and stuff, I like a bigger amount of glue to make sure everything stays down where I want it. And then it takes a little bit longer to dry. So now I'm going to take my score tape and we are going to go around all the edges here. And also the very edge of the paper here. And I'm not going all the way to the edges on this part because if you remember, we have to miter the edges and I don't want to lose quite all that tape. Score tape is an amazing two-sided tape. I've used other cheaper brands, have not had near the luck I have with actual score tape. I've had things come apart using the cheaper brands, and so I don't even trust it anymore. Especially this is going to be a gift. I don't want it falling apart. And also when I go to my shows, I don't want my stuff to fall apart after they take it home and it falls apart. That's never good for your reputation as a crafter and a salesperson. So when you own your own shops, you want to make sure that you are putting out a quality product. This is your name that goes on that. And also I have an Etsy shop, and you can find the name of the shop and a link to get to my shop down below. And a lot of these kind of products I have for sale in my shop. So if you would like to check that out, that would be wonderful. Maybe you'll find something you would like. Okay, so now we're going to just gently start bending our paper, getting it used to the idea that we want it to bend, want it to go the other direction, that we're going to be bending this all the way around. Okay, and so this is the bottom. We're going to start here with the long side first. I'm going to take my weeder and I'm going to pull up the tape here. And you want to start in the center, go up and out. And take your bone folder and burnish that all down. You want to kind of burnish here where you're going to be bending. Now it's time to do the other side. And we're going to have to move this up and out of the way, so I don't hit it when I bring this other one up. So we'll just bring this back and fold it for now. And we're going to bring this side up a little bit and fold it too. Okay, and then this one will come up. And again, you want to start in the middle, bring it up and out. Then use your bone folder to burnish just on the paper. Don't touch that other adhesive there. And just kind of gently go in here. All right. Now for the sides, remember you want to push in, just like you do on your albums. Anytime you cover any kind of a cover that you want to make, you want to do it basically this way. You're going to push in on the sides so that none of your chipboard is showing when you're done. Take that off. Take this off. Come up from the center and out. Take your bone folder and burnish. Do the same over here. Push in on the corner. In on the corner. Take your score tape off the covering. Again for this one. Up from the center and out. And take your bone folder and you want to burnish all this down nice and smooth. So now we need to do the inside. For that, I thought we would use the eyelashes. So I'm going to just kind of mark, eyeball and mark where I think this should be cut with my pencil. So we're going to cut here and we're going to cut here. So I'm going to cut this off first and then we'll cut the other side off. Grab my paper cutter here and see if I can find the mark again. Okay, there's the one mark. So we'll do this one first. And with this cutter, this is a very nice cutter from Fiskars. It has a metal that I don't know if you can see. There's a metal wire that runs right along here. And you can see where your cut's going to be because it's right along that wire. You can put your wire right up to where that pencil mark is so that you know that you were cutting in the right place. And then there's the other pencil mark. We'll go down, line it up with the wire, and cut it. Now, before we do anything else, we're going to just dry fit this to make sure that I didn't get off when I cut it. And you also want to make sure that you're going the right direction with your other paper. So this is a directional paper, so you want it so that when you turn it, everything's going the right direction. It would look weird if your eyes were upside down. So we're going to first put our score tape on here. I'm just using a little square printing block to cut my paper. Now the score tape on here, you want to get as close to the edge as you can without going over, so that it holds your paper all the way down, so that you don't have edges sticking up. Okay, and now we're going to burnish all this down. And we're going to put score tape on here. Now on here, I like to go in this middle part, because this, if it's going to buckle, this where you go to fold it is where it is most likely going to buckle for you. So I want enough adhesive here to keep that from happening. And then we're going to go out here and out here. And if you remember, there's going to be a piece all the way around from your other piece. All right, so now we need to burnish all this down. If you don't burnish it down, sometimes when you try to take up the cover paper, it takes up all the adhesive too. So you want to burnish it all down in, make sure it's all well into the card chipboard. So you want to make sure this is right side, going the right way. All right, so now we're going to pull all of this off. And now we want to take it off of here. Okay, and I'm just going to double check to make sure I am right side up. And I am. And then take my eyelashes, make sure they're the right way. And then we're going to center this down on here very carefully. Get it as straight as you can with as equal amount of border around. Then we're going to take this and gently, and you want to use the side of your bone folder, gently burnish it all down so everything comes together. Okay, and now I'm going to gently lift while you're using your bone folder for wherever that bend is going to be, right there. And do it again on the other side. You want to be pushing down as you're pulling that up so that if there's excess paper, which if you're bending the paper towards itself, there is, it will go down in that fold and not buckle up on you. So that is the outside so far. So we're going to put this aside and we're going to get our paper pad ready to go in. So first thing I want to do with my paper pad, I want to get rid of this top. And it's got like a cloth type thing there, so I'm going to have to use the scissors to carefully cut that off. I'm going to come to this side now, and I'm going to just clean it up so it's right on the edge. Alrighty. So then I'm going to take this, and I actually cut this about 1/8 of an inch bigger than this to make sure that it stayed covered. Sometimes they go kind of wonky, and so I did not want that, doing that. I have a small piece of 110-pound cardstock. I use this for album pages, so it's the sturdier cardstock. And I'm going to put this down here like that and fold it around the back. I already put score tape back here to grab this. So next we are going to put this, and I had already pre-folded this for around this particular notepad to make sure it would fit, so that it will stay down better when it goes in the book. If you score things, they have better memory that way. So we're gonna take off that side, take off this side. You don't want it tight, but you want it fairly firm on the edges there, so that you can still slide this out, but it holds it firmly enough that it doesn't feel like it's sliding everywhere when they're writing on it. Okay, so now we're going to put a bunch of score tape down here to hold this in our book. And where did I put my, here we go. Okay, and we're going to burnish this down, and we'll take that off. We're going to take our cover, and again, you want to make sure you're going the right direction. I have directional paper on the inside, so that helps. If this were not a directional paper, I would want to double check out here, since this part is directional, to make sure I am on the correct side, the correct way, putting my book in. So now we want to kind of put it in here. Make sure that it's kind of centered where you want it, and then put it down. And what we're going to do is just lift this part, go back here, and really burnish that down so that the paper is burnished down to your book. Okay? Now, for the outside, I was thinking about layering that up to go out here. For some reason, this does not look straight on this side. Don't know why, but it does not look straight. So I'm going to glue this down first and make sure that I am straight going around here. And then I'll cut off the other side straight to make sure. So for that, I'm going to use my art glitter glue. And you want to go around all your 4 edges here. Okay. We're going to give ourselves about, probably between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Grab our paper cutter again. Okay. And then we're going to check with our wire here to make sure we're about the same distance. Okay. And we're going to look at this and see if I like it this way, if I want to layer it up another time. Don't know. Like the pink, but I'm thinking the black might make it pop better. I think we're gonna go with the black side. So we're gonna, once again, glue this down with a border. There's just enough of the border showing that you can kind of figure out that those are scissors. Grab our cutting board again. Probably out of frame, I'm sorry. It's just easier for me to cut when it's close enough for me to see it. Okay. And we're going to put this on foam tape and pop it up, give it a little dimension there. Again, we're going to burnish that down. Take the coating off the back. This is 3M tape. I've not tried any of the other brands. This one works really well for me, so I like the Scotch 3M, so that's what we're doing. Right, so now we want to kind of center this on here and put it down. And again, the Scotch 3M, just like your score tape, once it's down, it's impossible to get up, so you want to make sure you get in the right place from the beginning. So now, I'm wondering if I want to put a little pocket in here, but the question is, do I want to go with the pink polka dot or with the scissors? I'm thinking the scissors might win again. Here, I got a small piece with the scissors. So we're gonna bring this out just a hair so that we're not right on that edge. I'm gonna take our pencil and mark so that we're right on this edge, and we're gonna cut. I know some of you are probably wondering, why does she keep grabbing that cutting board for such a small cut, but those of you who have watched my channel know that I have a crooked eye and there's no way I could cut this straight, so we're going to use the cutter. Alright. And this is just a very simple pocket. I'm just going to put glue on 3 sides and place it. She has a place to place that. And I want to line it right up so that the does not show down here other than this pocket. All right. Now, like all the albums and stuff we make, this does not have the memory to stay closed. So it will spend the night with this on top, and by tomorrow it should have figured out the memory of staying closed like this. So if you liked this video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more of my videos, please hit that subscribe button and come back and see me again. And I will see you next time. Happy crafting, everyone.